Caring for what matters most is simply a part of who we are. Because women's health isn't just one moment in life, it's every chapter. Preventative screenings and care designed for women at every stage of life. From first visits to motherhood and beyond, thoughtful care from the people who call this valley home. We're here for every step along the way. Start your journey today at kvhealthcare.org, your home for women's health.
To have friends like you.
Meet our friends, the Golden Girls.
Watch MeTV. Broadcast channels 35.2 and 42.2.
It's 6 p.m. Here's what's happening right now on Apple Valley News Now Live. Kennewick police launch a search for a hit-and-run driver. The investigation into who struck a school bus and sped away. Plus, a political debate erupts. Our Caleb Stipkovitz with the new complaint questioning the campaign contributions of the Political Action Committee, Let's Go Washington. Later, mental health demand surges among youth, the major expansion bringing more services to the Tri-Cities. And Stacy's tracking a change in our weather.
That's right, from a sunny, hot day to cloudy and cooling temperatures plus big winds on the way. I'll give you all the details. The news at 6 starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6 on your side.
And a very good Tuesday evening. Thank you for joining us. I am Austin Reed. Wendy Redman is anchoring Good Morning Northwest. In a new complaint sent to the Washington State Public Disclosure Commission, one high-profile political group is accused of violating state advertising code. New at 6, our Caleb Stipkovitz tells you about the complaint and how it also involves one well-known influencer.
Nonprofit Washingtonians for Ethical Government is bringing forward serious accusations against Let's Go Washington, the organization behind several statewide voter initiatives in recent years. WFEG says that Let's Go Washington isn't declaring all of its political advertising, specifically with conservative talk show host Brandy Cruz.
We have found at least 159 different instances that we feel are in violation of PDC rules. There have been promotions, but there's been no reporting of any payment or any in-kind contributions.
According to Stewart, it's those apparent in-kind contributions that are raising the red flag.
An in-kind contribution is a non-cash donation to a group, which can include providing free services or volunteer work. WFEG says that Cruz is a commercial advertiser, meaning that she promotes paid-for content on her podcast and social media. Cruz frequently promotes Let's Go Washington's ballot initiatives and has attended events with the group as well. And WFEG says that since she is a paid content creator, her involvement should be considered an in-kind contribution, something Let's Go Washington would have to report. Stewart also mentioned that some of Cruz's work is sponsored by Future 42, which is directly tied to Let's Go Washington's founder Brian Haywood. It's all a part of a complaint that says Let's Go Washington failed to declare all its advertising, missing an estimated value of between $300,000 and $1.3 million.
I had the chance to ask Haywood what he thought about the new complaint, and he says that he believes it is completely false.
In this case, they're accusing Brandy Cruz of working with us. We've never paid her a dime. I'm not super worried about it. I think it's just it's a distraction that they're trying to throw, and they're trying to smear people's reputation.
In an email statement to Apple Valley News Now, Cruz echoed Haywood's words, saying, "This attack is politically motivated, unfounded, and defamatory. I have never been given a cent to fight for girls' sports or parental rights, and I will continue to use my voice and platform to support whatever cause I choose." Up next, the complaint will be reviewed by the State Public Disclosure Commission, who will then choose whether or not to fine Let's Go Washington. The organization has been fined by the PDC in the past for $20,000.
I'm told that we don't currently know how long it's going to take for the PDC to review the complaint. Reporting from the newsroom, Caleb Stipkovitz, Apple Valley News Now.
Okay, Caleb, the complaint comes as Let's Go Washington is collecting signatures for a new voter initiative that aims to repeal the state's millionaire's tax. Before we get to the rest of tonight's headlines, let's talk weather. And man, things are changing. Let's get right over to First Alert's Stacy Lee live in our weather center, tracking wind and more.
That's right. You noticed on those cameras earlier, it looks a lot different than it did even an hour ago. The system is starting to move across. We have multiple wind advisories and wind warnings through our entire region. This kicks in late tonight into tomorrow, pretty much all day long. Overnight winds will start to pick up a little bit later on. The biggest winds there in Ellensburg, 45 to 50 miles an hour. That's on this upper level system that is starting to move across the area. That's bringing those clouds and will be bringing the winds. Right now, let's check out the Dust Devils. So they're getting ready to have their first pitch at 6:30 tonight. They're playing the Emeralds tonight. 88 degrees with a feels like of 84. That's the cool down. Already starting to feel it, and winds are coming from the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Next few hours will be dropping down into the 70s and 60s, so still pleasant evening, but get ready for a big cool down after nearly 90 degrees today. Look at this, we drop 20 degrees in just 24 hours. And here's some of the wind gusts you'll start seeing tomorrow through the area with lots of wind advisories. Let's talk weather photos and your reason to smile tonight. Thanks to Chuck for sending this one. This was a beautiful sunrise on Mother's Day. Thank you for the photo. Use that QR code right there on top of your screen. Keep those weather photos coming in. So the strong gusty winds are the big weather story. Scattered showers, could even see a thunderstorm here and there. Temperatures dropping down a full 20 degrees. And then we have mild and breezy conditions for the rest of the week. I'll break down the timing of the storms coming in just a bit. Austin?
Now to continuing coverage, the renamed Nike fire in southern Grant County has now burned a little over 3,000 acres. The fast-moving wildfire first broke out around 8 p.m. Sunday, forcing State Route 24 to close for several hours. Grant County Fire District 8 Chief Matt Heineman says crews are continuing to battle high winds and dust devils, but the fire is now over 35% contained. He says the blaze could be related to one that broke out the day before. However, there is no confirmation so far. Multiple agencies are working to contain the blaze, which Heineman says it continues to shrink. No structures were harmed. No injuries have been reported. The cause remains under investigation. New at 6 tonight, a Selah man is headed to federal prison for setting multiple wildfires in eastern Washington. Zachary Tyler Van Tool has been sentenced to 240 months in federal prison for 5 counts of arson and felon in possession of a firearm. Federal prosecutors say the 34-year-old started multiple wildfires in 2023 and 2024 across the eastern part of the state. Investigators with the ATF say witnesses linked him and his vehicle to several fire scenes before he was eventually identified and arrested. There is yet another school bus crash in the Tri-Cities, and again in Kennewick. This crash happened around 2 o'clock this afternoon at Clearwater and Kellogg. KPD says a driver ran into the front passenger side of the bus and took off. We are told no students were on board at the time. The bus driver was not hurt. The Kennewick School District officials arrived at the scene after it happened to help investigate, along with police. We don't have a description of the vehicle that cops are looking for at this hour. Just last week, a Kennewick school bus driver ran a red light and crashed at Clearwater and Moraine. That time, students were on board, and parents told us some of them had body pain later in the evening. The other driver was seriously hurt. Now, if you know anything about today's crash, you are asked to call Kennewick Police. A budget amendment tied to the new Pasco Aquatic Center moved forward during last night's Pasco City Council meeting. City officials say the amendment adds about $1.3 million in projected operating costs as the facility gets closer to opening. Leaders say even though the city will handle daily operations, the costs will be paid by the Pasco Public Facilities District using the voter-approved sales tax created for the project.
We are managing the facility. It is the expenses and the revenues come through our books. However, the facilities district reimburses us for all of our costs.
Tonight, the city says the amendment is considered budget neutral for the city itself as preparations continue for the Aquatic Center's opening this summer. The fight against summer learning loss is getting a boost in the Mid-Columbia. The Children's Reading Foundation of the Mid-Columbia is receiving a $10,000 grant from Battelle. The executive director of the CRFMC says the goal is to prevent what they call the summer slide, when students lose reading skills during the months they're out of school. Research shows kids can lose up to 3 months of learning over the summer if they are not engaged academically.
Our message is to put down the screen, pick up a book, talk to your child, play a game with your child, do something that isn't on a screen, because it's one of the best things you can do for their brain and their development.
They encourage families to spend about 20 minutes a day reading together to help prevent learning loss. The Read Up program partners with Mid-Columbia libraries and dozens of local organizations to expand its reach across both Benton and Franklin counties. Mental health providers across the Tri-Cities say demand for counseling services is continuing to rise, especially among young people. Lutheran Community Services Northwest is expanding into a larger facility in Kennewick later this summer. And now they have received a $500,000 anonymous donation and a matching challenge that could bring in up to $1 million more. Officials say the expansion will help increase access to youth mental health services and allow the organization to hire more staff.
There's just not enough out there to provide the level of care that is needed right now. So expanding for us is just being able to meet the need and be able to get families and youth in when they need it and be able to provide that level of support.
Gentry says the money will support the nonprofit's expansion into a larger facility on Canal Drive in Kennewick, allowing the organization to increase access to behavioral health care for youth and families across the Tri-Cities. New tonight, Yakima City Council is discussing whether to let voters decide if fluoride should be removed from the city's drinking water. City Attorney Sarah Watkins says Yakima voters approved fluoridation back in 1999, so it would take another public vote to repeal it. State law also requires the city to notify water customers and the Washington Department of Health at least 90 days before any official vote or decision. If council moves forward, the question could appear on a future ballot, possibly during the next city election in 2027. The public will have an opportunity to speak on that matter before any final vote is made. And MultiCare says it has reached a new agreement with Regence, meaning patients with Regence health plans will continue to have in-network access to MultiCare doctors, clinics, and hospitals. The deal ends months of uncertainty for thousands of patients, including those who get care at Yakima Valley Memorial. Without an agreement, some Regence members could have faced higher out-of-pocket costs or been forced to find new providers. Tonight, MultiCare says the new contract protects continued access to care across Washington, including Central Washington. All right, coming up next on Apple Valley News Now, live at 6. Your morning commute might slow down this week. We are live in Richland as more road construction is set to take place. What you need to know coming up. And Stacy is tracking the return of severe winds and temperatures. Are they going down? Stay with us. Her full First Alert weather forecast on the other side of the break. We're on your side.
Summer's here. Who's ready for camp in a new Toyota? Nice flash! The scavenger hunt starts now! The call was coming from inside the Tacoma! I even scared myself a little with that one. What was that?
Toyota, let's go places. Join Brett's RV and Marine for the Pasco Outdoor RV and Boat Show, happening May 13th through 17th at the Hapo Center in Pasco. This is where great deals can be found on new and used boats and RVs. We're bringing out a large selection, all priced to sell, with special show pricing you won't see again. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. If you're shopping for a boat or RV, this is your moment. Our adventure experts are ready to help you get a great deal and get out camping and boating. Learn more at brettsrv.com.
Bath Planet brings life back to your bathroom with expert remodeling, custom designs, fast installation. And right now, save $1,000. Call for a free estimate today. 509-851-0669.
Another morning walk.
With our mom's osteoporosis, I thought our days would be different.
No way! We still get to see each other all the time.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and are at high risk for fracture, you can rapidly build new bone in just 12 months with Evenity, the only bone builder that also helps slow bone loss. And Evenity is proven to significantly reduce spine fracture risk.
I love the cool stuff we're doing.
Yeah, we're still out and about exploring.
Yay for building new bone.
Evenity can increase risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness, or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems, as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Ask your doctor about building new bone with Evenity.
See you tomorrow.
You don't need to drop a ton of cash to make your home look like $1 million. You just need to hit up the Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Shop top brands like Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Borkholder Amish, and save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Score doorbuster deals before they're gone. And with 60 months no interest financing, it's easy to refresh any or every room in your home. Amazing selection, quality designs, stylish looks. The Memorial Day Super Sale, on now at Furniture Row.
You might think your floors are clean, but not from where we're standing. Try the new Swiffer Power Mop. New micro scrubbers clean 5 times deeper than spin mops, keeping more dirt and grime off your socks, so stuff stays trapped here and not down here. The new Swiffer Power Mop.
First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee, Apple Valley News Now.
Always on your side.
The news at 6 continues in Richland, where part of Steptoe Street in the city is closing this week as part of a major construction project. It's between Gage Boulevard and the Columbia Park Trail. That is where we find our very own Caleb Stipkovitz. He joins us live. So, Caleb, how long is the road going to be closed for?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Austin. So this road is going to be closed starting on Thursday. So that's going to be May 14th all the way to next Monday, the 18th. So that's going to be about 4 days or so where this is going to be impacted. But I'll just step out of the way because construction has actually already started. I'll give you a quick look at it. And we're lucky because there's not many cars right now. But as you can see, the traffic has been reduced to one lane going both ways as they're kind of planning some of those upgrades. You can see that there's a lot of cones. There's a lot of construction vehicles that are in the background that have been working on some things on the side, but this is going to pick up again starting on Thursday, and this is all a part of the Steptoe Street and Tapteel Drive intersection reconstruction project, which is a mouthful, but that's going to be one of the phases, and they're going to be doing some new railroad tracks. They're going to be putting in some new street signs, so kind of a variety of different things that they're going to be working on for this phase of those upgrades. So that's kind of what's going to be going on with the construction, so that's the reason it's going to be closed. But you know, anytime that you've got a road closed, you got to just make sure that you're being extra careful, that you're going to be taking those detours. I know that if you're somebody who maybe has to take this route to work, right? If you got to take this route to, drop your kids off at school, anything like that, just make sure that you give yourself a little bit of extra time so that you're not running into any problems. So that's going to be it for now, but I will send this to Stacy and we'll give you a look at your weather.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And thank you, Caleb. I ran into a little of that construction the other day myself. All right, let's take a live look in Ellensburg. We have some ponies out in the rodeo ground there, and check it out. That expansion is getting big. So weather changes on the way. This is going to be your windiest spot in the region beginning late tonight into tomorrow. Right now, pretty pleasant, 79 degrees. Winds from the southeast at 5 miles per hour, but that is all going to ramp up as that next system moves through the area. As far as tonight goes, look for a 20% chance of showers and winds starting to pick up later, up to 50 miles an hour tonight. 40s and 50s for the overnight lows. Into the Yakima Valley will be in the lower 50s pretty much through the entire region. 20% chance of rain. Winds peaking at 25 miles an hour. A really slight to 0, maybe 5% chance of seeing some rain here in the Columbia Basin overnight, but it is showing up. However, temperatures are going to be pleasant in the 50s, and we're going to be in the lower to mid 50s along the foothills of the Blues. But take a look at these wind gusts. They're going to be picking up there tonight as well. We've got wind advisories and warnings all through the area in blue, so that's pretty much most of eastern Washington and northeastern Oregon. Here's some of those gusty winds we're talking about for tomorrow. Ellensburg, 55 to 60 mile an hour gusts. That's pretty substantial. Things are going to be blowing around, so protect your sensitive vegetation tonight. Pack up all the lawn furniture, put that stuff away, because you're going to be dealing with that pretty much all day. Now, the system has just started to roll in, and we're seeing impacts with some clouds and some winds starting to pick up, and even a little bit of rain activity out towards the foothills of the Blues. So showers and thunderstorm chances are possible overnight tonight. More chances tomorrow. The majority of it, though, we think will land here across our Cascade Mountains, but do look for some showers to start building up in the morning hours through the Columbia Basin, the Kittitas, Yakima Valleys, and then eventually out to the Blues. But it should be pretty active in some of these darker spots you see. That's where we could see some thunder and lightning building up through the area. So some pretty active weather. Big changes as it's been very warm, and that big warm front now is starting to move off to the east, where they're still having above average temperatures. As far as our highs for tomorrow, we went from nearly 90 degrees today in the Tri-Cities. We're dropping a full 20 degrees tomorrow. You're going to see the 60s in the Yakima and Kittitas Valley, as well as the foothills of the Blues. All right, let's talk 7-day planner. Alert day due to those gusty winds. Temperatures go from 60s into the 50s in the Kittitas Valley, then warming back up eventually next week. Yakima also dropping down from the 80s today down into the 60s and 70s, and then 60s for most of the weekend. Skies are looking much better, but do count on some breezy and gusty winds for the rest of the week. Tri-Cities also that big cool down like we pointed out today. I think we topped out at 89 degrees, so down to 70. That's a 19-degree drop with breezy winds, but a pretty good-looking weekend. Very mild. Austin should be happy with those temperatures. Yeah. That's good lawn mowing weather, just saying. All right, the high winds also impacting Hermiston tomorrow. 70s down into the 60s, and then for Walla Walla, similar situation. Better chance of seeing a thunderstorm developing there tonight and in the morning. And again, I've been watching the radar pretty closely, and we're just starting to see a couple of cells popping up in Baker City area of Oregon. Okay. So be prepared. Thunder roars, you head indoors.
Things is changing.
There they are.
Thank you much. Coming up, security cameras capture a wild crime gone wrong in Michigan, where the suspects crashed and burned. When we return with Caught on Camera.
Did you know CancerGuard helps screen for multiple cancers? Good to know. CancerGuard helps screen for over 50 cancers, even before symptoms appear. It's one blood test that's as simple as a haircut.
That is good to know.
CancerGuard, from the makers of Cologuard.
25 years of making memories. 25 years of fun with family and friends. 25 years of Dust Devils baseball.
The fun continues this week. Friday, May 15th is school night, thanks to Polish Homes, and a family feast night, thanks to Tri-City Airport. Saturday, May 16th, we will all enjoy a post-game fireworks show presented by the Nuclear Care Partners.
Come be a part of our best season yet. Tickets at DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball, a Tri-Cities tradition for 25 years.
We're here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you should pay what we pay.
Now get employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
For 50 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
1 in 5 Americans get skin cancer by age 70. However, when detected early, the 5-year survival rate is 99%. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Skin cancer prevention and screening available at Prosser Memorial Health. Visit prosserhealth.org.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck, heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Michigan authorities are looking for the people who smashed a vehicle into a cannabis store and then attempted to burn it down. Security footage shows 2 suspects pouring gasoline inside the Pure Cannabis outlet in Monroe on Sunday morning. They then started a blaze and fled the scene. But the video of the incident shows one of the suspects was still on fire as he ran through the parking lot. When sheriff's deputies arrived, the establishment's sprinkler system was putting out the blaze. Despite the damage, the store remains open to customers. The business joked about the incident on social media, saying it does not have a drive-through. It didn't look like anyone was on fire, but a pair of California Highway Patrol officers seemed suitably put out after getting doused. It was from a red fire retardant from above by a passing CAL FIRE air tanker. CHP Templeton shared the surprise moment and the ruby red afterward, joking that the aerial tanker decided they were a part of the scenery and gave them the fuel and the full red carpet treatment. They also said wildfire response is unpredictable, messy, and occasionally stylish. All right, still ahead in our next half hour of news, the city of Richland is offering free heart screenings that could save your child's life. The first of its kind event for young athletes at risk for cardiac arrest.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Oh look, here we are on our honeymoon.
Lander, Wyoming. Jackalope, capital of the world. I'll never forget your face when you unwrapped those bus tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Tears of joy. Pure, unbridled.
Anniversaries are special, so we're celebrating with a guaranteed $1 million giveaway. Only at Northern Quest. 25 years bold.
You got shortness of breath, chest pains, and a cough. Little things wipe you out, you can't shake it off. It might be long COVID. You got chills, brain fog, depression, fever, can't smell or taste. Could be long COVID. One more time.
Whoa.
How are you doing that?
I just started banking with ICCU.
ICCU?
Best banking experience of my life. Smart technology, great rates, benefits with my checking. Plus, it's just nice to talk to people who actually care.
And that made you able to lift a bazillion pounds?
You tell me. Hey, you got any more 45s back there?
Everything you need for your banking and everything you love about a credit union. ICCU. Life's greener here.
Here in the Valley, caring for what matters most is simply a part of who we are. Because women's health isn't just one moment in life, it's every chapter. Preventative screenings and care designed for women at every stage of life. From first visits to motherhood and beyond, thoughtful care from the people who call this valley home. We're here for every step along the way. Start your journey today at kvhealthcare.org, your home for women's health.
Bathfitter does showers? That's right. We offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers in all shapes and sizes. We can even convert your bath into a shower. How about that? With our seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you'll get a beautiful new shower to fit your needs, guaranteed for life. Bathfitter's been around for 40 years, and we've been experts at showers for just as long. Get yours today. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Yet another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this one works.
Basic toothpaste stops at the top. Crest goes deeper to dissolve the bonds that hold stains to teeth for whiter teeth in one day. Crest.
They're not fancy. No leather seats, no powerful sound systems, but they have wheels, seat belts, and AC. These are Apple Valley News Now cruisers, and they go where news happens. Because Apple Valley News Now is everywhere you need us to be.
Reporting in Pendleton, Ellensburg, Tri-Cities Airport.
From the Blues to the Cascades, one television station leads the way with local news you trust. Oh, and when you see one of our cruisers, please go ahead and wave. We're Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Always on your side.
Here's what's happening right now on the region's only live and local news at 6:30 p.m. The Walla Walla School District faces declining enrollment. How it is forcing strategic decisions about funding and programs next year. Plus, the basketball world is mourning a rising star, a former Gonzaga favorite whose life was cut short, leaves fans devastated. Those stories and more right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6:30 on your side.
Great to see you on this Tuesday. I'm Austin Reed. We have made it to May the 12th, and if you thought today was hot and you're looking forward to a cool down, our Stacy Lee has some good news for you right now.
A cool down and even some sprinkles? We'll take it, right? There you go. Here's the system that's starting to move into the area tonight. You've been seeing the clouds building up after a sunny start to our day, and I told you I'd track the radar. Look at that. See it coming up? See it fast? See a couple of lightning strikes there? They're hard to detect, but that doesn't look like a lot, but that's what is coming our way tonight, as well as some strong gusty winds. They're really going to start picking up now that we start to see that system move through the area. It's been pretty pleasant, pretty calm all day, and we're just a minute. They just said play ball a couple minutes ago here on the field. 88 degrees at Dust Devil Stadium. The winds are from the west at 8 miles per hour, humidity at 21%. The guys should be okay. If you're going to the game, you should be okay. It's going to cool down to the 60s, but right now we're still pretty warm all through the area. We're starting to see those cooler temperatures developing in Pendleton right now. Tomorrow, big cool down. We're talking nearly 20 degrees in most of our area, plus big precip chances and strong gusty winds. Wind advisories in place all through the region. So get ready for the winds. Batten down the hatches, as I say tonight. Put away any loose outdoor items. Even protect some of your baby plants that are just growing, because these winds are no joke. Scattered showers and thunderstorms also possible. The big cool down, and then we stay mild and breezy for the rest of this week. Austin?
School districts in Walla Walla County are focusing on student engagement and preparing for the summer and beyond. New at 6:30, our William Albert spoke with a couple of districts about what they're working on and some of the challenges ahead.
School districts across Walla Walla County are close to wrapping up another school year, and with summer around the corner, Walla Walla Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Ben Guyan says the district has taken several steps forward in connecting with the community.
We started our Hispanic leadership group, and that just ballooned from 2 people to sometimes 50 people in a room like this, just to talk about what their hopes, their dreams are for their kids. So that's been a really great surprise. Along the way, as also I think we shared about this in the fall, we also wanted to know what it was like to really get into the shoes of our kids and even our staff. So we launched a series with our communications director, Mark Higgins, just really getting out there and seeing what it was like to experience schools with our students.
Meanwhile, in neighboring Waitsburg, Superintendent Monty Sabin says both high school and elementary schools have shown improvement this year, including recognition from the state for student growth.
So the elementary has been recognized by the state for growth scores. So not necessarily the score on state assessment, but how much those kids have grown over time.
However, moving forward, Dr. Guyan says Walla Walla Public Schools is also facing some challenges, especially following the recent legislative session, which impacted early learning programs.
This year, in terms of their short session, to talk about the supplemental budgets and the impacts it had, at least for us, we saw a decrease in about 25 slots in TTK, transition to kindergarten, and that really impacts us here in Walla Walla with the amount of kids that we serve. Right now, we currently serve 92, and to think about almost a quarter of the kids not being there for next year, that's going to have an impact on our students.
Guyan says another major issue is declining enrollment, something the district has been dealing with for years.
Each year, we seem to be losing about 100 kids per year, and that's going to force us to be thoughtful about where we put our efforts in, what we fund, but we have a thoughtful strategic plan that's going to help guide us along the way, but because students drive our budget.
As the school year comes to a close, both the Waitsburg and Walla Walla school districts say they are looking ahead to continue supporting students and families in the years to come. In Walla Walla, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
District leaders say they'll continue working through budget and enrollment challenges while preparing for the next school year. Well, a Heppner man is in jail tonight after deputies say he hit a light pole, a fire hydrant, and a parked car, then left the scene. The crash happened this morning near May and Chase Streets in Heppner. Investigators say the light pole was knocked to the ground in a nearby business parking lot. Deputies later arrested a 26-year-old man who is now facing hit-and-run related charges. New at 6:30 now, Benton County Commissioners held a special meeting tonight to discuss what a possible split from Franklin County could mean for several shared services across the region. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen reports county leaders and agency officials say there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
Benton County Commissioners spent hours Tuesday hearing how a possible separation from Franklin County could impact shared services people use every day. That includes human services, behavioral health programs, and the Benton Franklin Health District. Leaders say they're still in the early stages, trying to figure out what would change, how long it would take, and how to keep services running.
I want to make this crystal clear. I don't know how else to put it. Very crystal clear on these topics here. Benton County did not initiate the separation.
Human Services Director Kyle Sullivan told commissioners many programs are connected between both counties, and unwinding those agreements would take time. The health district also warned a split could affect how public health is funded and staffed.
So, for example, administrative match is one of our ones where if we do so many services that are tied to Medicare, the state will provide us some supplemental dollars to backfill that program work to make them more robust. If we step down, there's less services being provided and there's less money coming in.
Behavioral health providers raised similar concerns, saying any disruption could hit recovery and treatment programs hard. Commissioners stressed no decisions were made Tuesday, but they wanted these questions on the record as talks continue. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And we'll continue breaking down what this could mean for services across both counties later this week. New tonight, former Gonzaga star and NBA forward Brandon Clark has died at 29. The Memphis Grizzlies announced the news today. Clark, who played college basketball at San Jose State and here in Washington State at Gonzaga, was drafted into the NBA in 2019 and became a fan favorite in the Pacific Northwest. Gonzaga University posted this tribute on social media today, saying the program was heartbroken over the loss of the former Bulldog star. The team has not released a cause of death. Richland Fire and Emergency Services is partnering with the Nick of Time Foundation to provide free youth heart screenings. This will be a first-of-its-kind event for the Tri-Cities area, and anyone ages 12 to 24 can register. With an EKG, professionals are able to identify 96% of underlying cardiac issues. 80% of people that have an underlying heart condition will never have a sign or symptom prior to going into cardiac arrest. The event is aimed at identifying any potential issues among youth athletes.
Physicals that are done at a doctor's office to play sports doesn't require an EKG, and that's the big thing with this event is that we'll provide that. You'll come, you'll get an EKG. It's a really simple procedure. It's non-invasive. We just put 10 stickers on your chest, around your heart, and it takes 12 different pictures and helps us identify if there's a cardiac issue.
The event will take place this Friday, the 15th, at the Hapo Center in Pasco. It's from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event is free, but registration is required beforehand.